In this episode, the guests arrive and get stuck into the experience. From a reptile show, to sourdough bread, to slow roasted lamb in the oven, some shooting practice, and a quiet moment around the campfire with my brother. There's loads of stuff happening. Our guests have just arrived on Harmony Farm. It's always exciting to show new people what countryside living is all about. Today we've got something a little bit different on the farm. Abdulmalik is doing his reptile show.
These are called, let's see if I can get one, Madagascan giant hissing roaches.
He started this business when he was 10 years old, demonstrating and showing all of the guests his collection of critters, bugs, snakes, spiders, and lizards.
She is not full size. She will actually grow about as long as my hand. Yeah, they're really giant mantises. He wants to eat everything, and he will try to eat my fingers.
Watching Abdulmalik develop this business from scratch, come up with the business idea, and execute it has been a fantastic achievement.
He can run really fast. He can run really fast.
Proud dad moment watching him grow up and develop this. Nothing makes a trip to the farm more than a bit of air rifle shooting. It's one of those activities that you need a lot of patience, but once you get your aim correct and you learn the technique, it's very, very rewarding. Especially when somebody who's not really confident hits the target. It's great to watch. I offer an activity on the farm, air rifle shooting. We've also got axe throwing. And what we've done, we just set up some logs and we put a load of junkyard stuff on there to make nice tingy sounds. And then you've got little targets there that you need to aim and try to shoot. We love running competitions between men and women. That's the fun. That's the most fun because the women get real serious. Yeah. You know, a part of what we're doing here is I'm always trying to be just on the edge of safety, right? As long as the law is in place and everyone's safe, I'm happy to allow people that would generally not be using these kind of things to do so. My little ones were 3 or 4 when they first used this, with my supervision, obviously. Safety first. So the number one rule is no one is allowed in front of the line of fire. Second rule is that only an 18-year-old is able to operate the gun and load the gun. And that 18-year-old can then pass it to a 14-year-old and observe that 14-year-old using it. And they can go all the way down to young people as long as they're holding the gun. Okay? So really and truly it's the adult who's responsible who's doing that. The other thing is that we don't point it at anybody, even in joke, because that could still be loaded. Someone may have mistakenly left a bullet in. And we always, whenever we load the gun, which is a break barrel, we can hear that the spring is there. We put the bullet inside, close it back up, that's loaded. Once the gun is loaded, you pull this lever vertical. This gives you the opportunity to press the safety. All right, so you've got 3 movements to make it happen, but sometimes that happens by itself, so you have to be careful. Then you take aim. When you take aim, I'm gonna aim that way, just to show. You take aim, you put your shoulder into the shoulder sort of section, let's say, I can't think what they call it, and that keeps it nice and tight. Then you look down the gun. You should really be able to hold the gun with one hand like that, and then this to steady it. Then you look down that green line, and you shoot with that there. Not like this. Some people do that, and you get a little bit of kickback, you're gonna cut your eye. So you have to hold it here and look down the barrel, and then bang. Okay? So that's a safety briefing. All right, everyone good with that? Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
Bad mistake.
And then you have to get a nice flick of your wrist, okay? Don't try to throw it mad hard, just try to throw it with a nice... We are going to the forest to make a campfire. Me and my brother Mohammed share a quiet moment as he opens up about his past and how he has found healing in the farm. It's getting a bit cold.
I'm drinking my tea.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just, I bought some stuff with me from the forest, but the majority of it's come from. I'm gonna turn these into little fire sticks.
Yeah.
Just gonna crack these up. And I'm gonna get it started with my new flint and steel. Watch this. You don't get a chance to see this. I'll do this with the customers of the fire. This. Ready? Come on, mate. Come on, mate. Look at that, mate.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So what I'm using is it's a magnesium rod. So you can just put your little. I just get these cotton pads. I was asking Elif to get it to me. So can you get cotton pads? So what do you need cotton pads for?
No,
And I say, because I want to take my nail varnish off. I'm doing my makeup. She's like, what? And I'm like, because I need it for the bushcraft course, woman. I'm just building up the fire here. I've cheated. I put a fire lighter in there. Because you want to just get it going, innit? So when I do the bushcraft course, I show them from scratch. So it's a big change, isn't it? If you think about your life before, imagine. And we were here, and I just came downstairs. We're moving to Wales, and you're like, what? And then next thing you know, you didn't join us. And then 4 years down the line, and 4 years ago, sorry, you came here. You're just like, if you can imagine what you were like before to now, And now we're just chilling in the forest, we're lighting a fire. It's crazy, isn't it? You're saying, what do you think? How does that make you feel?
what I'm thinking about is the sense of peace that I'm experiencing right now, right? That tranquility. But yeah, my life was the opposite. Chaotic and full of fear, anguish, constantly chasing desire,
Drugs are mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
That lifestyle is, we can all see it happening, but you can't pull that person out. You're trying to reach them and stop them from drowning, but they have to do it themselves, isn't it?
The thing is, I didn't see it happening. Everybody else did, but I didn't see it happening. It was, it went from just, a little bit of fun. Everyone's doing it, peer pressure. Next thing you know, full-blown daily using on the street. But do you know what? There was always a presence, even if just a flicker, little flame of Iman. Always a little flame, right? And I remember sometimes being on the streets, and then Ramadan would come. I'd see Muslims on the street.
I'm going mosque on it.
Yeah, going to the masjid, and I was consumed by shame, right? And that stopped me from. That put me back out there, innit? When
Shame is like one of Shaitan's nice.
Yeah, you're not worthy. You're not worthy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't. I'm not you, man. No, yeah, maybe them, but not you. You know what I mean? And I think that shame. What it did is, at the time, my coping mechanism was drugs. That's what I knew. That was
The spiral, isn't it? Because
it's a cycle.
Yeah.
It's a cycle. The shame leads you to the using, and then the using leads you to the shame, and the shame leads you to the using. I remember one brother said to me, he phoned me whilst I was using, and I heard, I was in a bad place, and like physically, the environment was bad.
I remember you said you were in a hotel, innit? And then he called you when you were in the corridor.
Yeah.
Innit?
Yeah.
Is that the one, yeah?
Yeah. And he said, I didn't know who it was. I thought it was somebody trying to buy some drugs or something. So I was like, yeah, whatever. I answered the phone, I had Salaam Alaikum. And my instincts was, I was so shook. Alaikum Salam, who's this? And he said, don't hang up. And we had a bit of conversation, and the point that he got to was, look, Allah sees all, and Allah is all forgiving, all merciful. Don't push that away, No matter what you do, don't push that away. He wasn't condoning what I was doing. He wasn't saying carry on, but he was saying don't push that out, And that stuck with me. And a few years later, I remember when I arrived here, maybe a few weeks into it, after I got over the withdrawals, I was outside and I was looking at the moon, and I was kind of in awe of, because you can see the stars more here, innit?
Yeah, it's clear.
and I was in awe of what I was seeing. Something just started to click. So I started to recite a little bit of Quran before I slept and said, Allah, look, you know, this is what you want from me, meaning if you're there kind of thing, you know, I knew he was there, but if you want me to serve you, if you want me to come back, like help me, show me, right? And that would be my little dua before I went to sleep, just a little bit. And then maybe a few months later, one of the guests came, and he was like, bro, just pray, man. Just
I
pray.
remember it because I was like, oh, please don't come with your, just pray, bro. Like it was maybe like a bit cringe, you know.
And
But I remember at the moment, it was actually by the Allah tree.
Yeah. And I know why you felt that way, that cringe moment, because it feels a bit forceful, but there was something in it. It just clicked. I was like, actually, he's right. And then Baba came, and he said, Muhammad, please just pray with your father, please, you know. And I turned into a teenager. Oh, Baba, why are you gonna make me pray? Come on, man, it's not sincere. And what do you have to? And it was a moment. I remember very clearly speaking to Mariam, and I said, Mariam, how do I make wudu? You know, I forgot how to make wudu. And she reminded me, and I went and prayed with Baba. And again, that peace, that serenity just came over me. And something. It's all these little moments where they're clicking. And you know what? Another thing, Mama, she always sent me things like Jummah Mubarak, just a little bit to remind you of who you are.
A little bit of Islam.
Yeah, a little bit Islam, you know? Who you are, where you come from, who we are, we're here still. But the door was always open. I knew it was always open.
Was it? Was it the keep the Golden Gate Bridge open? Innit? The Golden Bridge. No, it was what we were saying. We were saying in it. We're saying always keep that Golden Bridge open, like it's like a Golden Bridge back. Nothing beats baking fresh bread by hand. Today, Elif is taking our guests through the process of making sourdough bread and showing how a few simple ingredients can turn into something very special.
Welcome to my sourdough workshop. My name is Elif, if I haven't introduced myself, and I have designed this workshop to make it easy for you so you can start baking sourdough bread at home. So why sourdough bread? Because it's good for your digestive system, it's the traditional way we make bread, and it's the best tasting bread ever. For this recipe, it's only 4 ingredients. So that's your flour, it's your water, your salt, and your sourdough starter. So for the recipe, it's 600 grams white flour.
Yeah.
So another 200 of brown flour now.
Okay. Is it 200 brown flour?
Yes, please. 200 grams of brown flour. All right, so I need a tablespoon of salt. I like to use pink Himalayan salt because I just think if you're gonna bake bread, do it with the best ingredients. But anything that you've got out there, it is a really wet dough, okay? So high hydration, and we're gonna go for at 70%, which is 540 mils. So we're gonna add 200 mils of our beautiful sourdough starter. So hold on. So as you can see like that, yeah. There you go. Cool. So 200 mils, please. Here, you take that. Go on, take ownership of it. It's yours now. Yes. Yeah. So Amira, if you can mix that. So this is just the way I like to do it. I just mix the wet ingredients and then we're gonna combine the wet with the dry. Okay, and everyone's got to pull up their sleeves a little bit because we're all gonna get stuck in. All right, to just think about when, those times when you're 5 years old and you wanted to squish something. That's what we're gonna do, okay? And you put your muslin cloth into your proving basket. Sprinkle a little bit of flour just to prevent the sticking before we start shaping, okay? So for the shaping, this is cupping. All right, and again, as you start working your dough, you'll see those air bubbles. We don't want to punch them out, okay? So this is cupping, and then this is tucking, okay? So this is how I tuck. All right, and as you can see, how long did that take to shape this? It's gonna take long as well. All right.
This for the time.
That's it. Yeah, and then you've got to drop it in. We get our dough, we take, obviously using gloves, we take our lid off, and this is the quickest and easiest way to put your dough into your pot, and you just drop it in like that, and you have your knife ready, and then you score your dough like this. Now we don't need to do fancy patterns because we're beginners and we just want a nice, healthy, wholesome, nutritious bread. And that's it.
That's how we make sourdough bread.
So now it's come to the final result. After all that cooking, 1 hour has gone, and we're gonna show you the final product for our bread. So here we are. And we're gonna flip this out like this and drop this here. And here is our final result. Lovely, fresh sourdough, homemade bread.
We are preparing a whole slow roasted lamb today. Stuffing it with herbs and produce from the farm. It's a great way to share traditional food and bring people together. So what I'm doing here, I'm splitting down some kindling into some smaller pieces, like this, and then I'm sharpening them like this. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I've got some lamb I've got a whole lamb that I want to pin together. I want to put some chickens inside there, and then I want to pin them together. So I don't have toothpicks, I'm going to try and use this. It's not the most necessary thing, but I just want to make sure I got it just in case. So I'm just using a knife and I'm cutting away the wood so it's nice and pointy. So you got to innovate, you know? When you don't have what you need, you got to innovate. So I'm just taking this off, and by doing so, I'll have a nice pointy bit to stick in the lamb's, the breast of the lamb, and it will hold it together in the oven. Let's take that off the hook there. So I've left this smoking by the cooker. Right. Now we need to season. Just give that a bit more of a wash. In my seasoning is just a mixture of lots of different powders inside my kitchen. So I've got a mixed spice from Turkish spice, like it's kind of, I don't know, probably cumin, paprika, chili powder, or bul pepper powder, garlic, and then there's ras al hanout spices as well. So it's similar to do that. See, imagine me doing this in my kitchen, yeah, and what my wife's going to say to me. So that's why I had to build an outdoor kitchen. Yeah, okay, you don't want me to cook like this? Then I have to build an outdoor kitchen. So I just picked this table up from eBay. No, not eBay, Facebook Marketplace. It was a £200 table. I picked it up as a fold-up one. I picked it up for like £70. So gonna now stick that chicken inside the lamb. So now we're gonna chop up some onions. We've got some potatoes that we're gonna stuff in there as well, because this is gonna cook overnight, you see. So I'm happy just to stick these in just like this for the flavour. Okay, he's gonna go in now. Bismillah. Oh. One brick against that keeps that in place. Take that off, foil up the top again. We are done. So that is going to be cooking for, so now is 10 o'clock, 8:30, so So we're gonna be going till 7, so just under 24 hours. 22 hours, maybe 20 hours, inshallah. I'm gonna get this out without it falling. It just keeps on coming. Okay, you got the rice there, El? Look at that, look. Oi. The satisfaction. I love the wow factor. You see that? You just break that leg off like that. Bosh. You have to do it this way as well. There's no other way to do it. Like a whole chicken on top, look. Bosh. Yeah? You've seen this before, haven't it?
Right there.
Sauce. So this sauce, 1, 2, 3 hour sauce. Okay. Courgettes, chickpeas, tomatoes, the taters. And of course the finish. All my basil mint from the garden. And that is it. Ready to serve. Okay. Bismillah. Tuck in. Right? Okay. Alright, let's do another one. Yeah, I'll do another plate now. I love it, mate, I love it. Just got some bay leaf for my soup. So we've come to the end of the show. I'm so grateful that I've been able to share my space with the nation. My kids, my family, the goats, the cows, all the animals, the guests. It's been a wonderful experience, and I hope to see you all at Harmony Farm soon, inshallah.